Great. Can I get a motion to begin the Halifax Board of Health meeting for Wednesday, August 21st at 6:34 p.m.?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please note that this meeting is being recorded by Area 58 and can be viewed on YouTube. All right, so apparently last time we forgot to, actually we couldn't vote because we need a full board to confirm the current organization of the board. So I move that Candace Green remains chair of the Board of Health.
Okay.
Or
But
do we
just
have to,
remain
like-
as they are, right?
Yeah, or do we have, it says each position, so I think we have to go through.
Oh, okay, all right. So moved.
No,
Second.
second.
Oh, second, sorry.
I was gonna nominate you. We just did one more year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I move for Pam Engstrom to remain co-chair of the Halifax Board of Health.
So moved.
Second. You need to get a second in first.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so, great. And then I move for David Hatch to remain clerk of the Halifax Board of Health.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Bob, disposal works permits.
Well, at least now we can keep going. I have a board. 132 Cedar Street. Has been reviewed and ready to roll, so just need ratification.
Okay, any problems with 306 Homes or Brandeis Circle while we're on it?
No, they're all just repairs of failed systems.
Perfect. All right, can I get a motion to ratify the agent's approval of 132 Cedar Street, 306 Home Street, and 83 Brandeis Circle?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's what happens when you miss too many meetings.
Yeah.
All right, 265 Monpont Street.
Still out for review with John.
Okay, same with 314, so we'll leave those for next meeting.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, requiring upgrades and variances, but otherwise recommended for approval, 266 Monpont.
Thank you very much. Greg Driscoll, JD Civil here tonight, representing Thorndyke Development, and with me tonight also is Dave Research of Thorndyke Development.
I want to make sure you're able to speak into something. Just in other meetings, Greg, nobody can hear what the presenter says. So sort of makes the whole idea for recording it ridiculous.
Yep, so let's see if we can share this microphone.
And I can share Dave's.
Okay. All right, so it's like Greg Driscoll here tonight, representing Thorndyke Development. Just going to give an overview of the system, how we've designed it, and how it will function. This is the proposed, well, first of all, an introduction to the project. This is proposed multi-unit building, 30 units, 55 plus development in the new senior housing overlay district. We are proposing a drip irrigation system in the back here. The building will flow gravity from here, coming out in the middle of the building, to a 8,500 gallon primary septic tank for 48 hours of storage, retention time, and then flowing into a secondary 4,500 gallon septic tank, then a 4,500 gallons pumped storage tank that's connected to a wet well. So we, through our revisions and through comments with John Delano, we've revised the plan to address those comments and worked more closely with the architect and MEP engineers who are a bit further along after we got the comments. Previously, we'd had the sewer line coming out down here in the building. We since revised it to come out through the middle so we could raise everything and eliminate one of the variance requests that we had. For cover of the tanks. The tanks were deeper and greater than 3 feet, but now we've got them raised up. Let's see. The pump storage tank.
If I can just say that, so drip irrigation system is approved by EPA.
Yep.
Of
MSCP,
course,
yep.
because I have the information.
Yep.
I just want to make that clear because it's a little bit unique to certain properties.
Absolutely. Yep, and I have some more information on that.
And great, because obviously the maintenance contracts will be
Yep.
of utmost importance
Absolutely.
moving forward.
And copies of everything, copies of everything that's appropriate will be recorded in the registry of deeds and filed with the Board of Health, for the maintenance contracts and everything.
Perfect.
So the pump storage tank is designed in order to hold 24 hours worth of flow in order for the operation of the system. So we like to have 24 hours worth of flow on hand. It's a time dose system, which is basically evens out the peaks. So if you have a pressure dose system that is just triggered by the level in the tanks, triggering the floats in the tank, you'll get a peak in the morning, then you get a peak in the evening. What this does, what time dosing does, is it holds on to the water a little bit longer, and every so often it'll send water to the field over a longer period of time. So it's spread out over throughout the day rather than just getting hit with a bunch of water in the morning and a bunch of water at night. And we also have 9 hours worth of emergency storage capacity in the system. That's a third of a day. That's pretty much typical for a pump station or a sewer pump station. And we have an emergency backup generator. So Title V allows for us to have an emergency generator, and it's right here. And it's a propane fueled, so there's an underground propane tank that will fuel that. So we don't need a full 24 hours of storage above the operating of the system.
And, sorry,
Sure, go ahead.
to the best of my knowledge, the fire department told me that they understand that there is an underground propane tank there, so
Okay, good. So
that way they have, just make sure you have proper filings with the Halifax Fire Department.
Okay. Did that come up at all with your discussions, Chief?
I didn't honestly.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to misrepresent, but yeah, well, we're familiar with getting we have a project in Rainham where we have 5 of these underground propane tanks for backup generators, so we're generally familiar with the process.
It's not my lane, but
Sure.
I care about my fire department and
Yeah,
people.
everybody's
and
gonna work together.
propane can blow up.
Okay, so
And does that have like an automatic, like the generator, does it go off? Is it like testing or whatever? It has an automatic,
It
Yeah,
typically does
it's
a weekly,
cycle.
yeah,
A weekly cycle?
test, yeah.
okay.
and it'll have telemetry for calling out if there's an issue,
Yep.
As well as the system itself. Okay, so the soil absorption system is the perforated drip dispersal system. Here's my copy of some data. You guys want to take through it? This is the drip tubing. This right here is the pressure compensating emitters. Can't see on the foot there. Basically, this is what these are off about a foot or so, spread out throughout the length of the tubing through the system, and they emit the effluent 1 drip at a time, evenly throughout the system, and it's as it's pressurized by the pumps. So it's an innovative alternative system, as Mr. Valerie alluded to. Approved for general use by Mass DEP. I do have a copy of the approval letter in that folder, and you said you have one as well, right? So it's approved for general use. System is a time dose pressure dose system. Time dose spreads out the peaks of the day.
You familiar with this, Bob?
Excuse me?
You familiar with this system?
Oh, yeah. I've actually been through different trainings at my MHOA conferences on Oakson or, what's the other one? Drip Right or something?
Perk-Right.
Yeah, but
So
Perk-Right.
Perk-Right is the product, Oakson is the distributor for New England.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I've installed
Do we have any? I feel like
we have,
I feel like we've talked
I've
about this
installed one in Halifax. There's another one in Halifax,
Commercially?
not commercially, they're residential, and 3 residentials in Marshfield. So you
Any
know,
experience with them at commercial? Bigger
No.
systems? Okay.
not commercially.
We have one that just was installed in West Bridgewater. It's not commercial, but it is a multi-unit residential project, 40B project. It's installed, it's coming online as they sell the houses. And there's a second one on that same project that they're installing currently, or they just installed. So we've had some experience with them on a bunch of projects, both single-family homes and larger systems. So the drip dispersal system is the same technology as a drip irrigation system. So it's subsurface, and like I said, the whole system gets pressurized when the pumps come on, and the flow emitters emit a drip at a time throughout the whole system for a constant application rate throughout the whole field. There's 3 zones in the system that will rotate as each time that the system is charged up. So there's another representation of the 3 zones, and this shows the actual tubing back and forth. And this is a schematic of how it all gets charged up, each zone, and then there's a return line. There's a hydraulic unit located right on top of the tank over here that controls flow out to the system and pressurizing the system, and then the return flow goes back to the secondary tank. So, and once the system shuts off, in between, it drains back out. So there's no water just sitting there the whole time. It's a relatively short, shallow vertical system. It's about 6 inches. It sits in 6 inches of sand. So it's got a short vertical profile. Right here, and a lot of questions we usually get are, what about freezing? That's not an issue because it empties out in between cycles, and if it does snow, the snow over top kind of insulates it. So
I would agree
yeah.
that no, it should not freeze
Yeah.
as long as it drips back.
Yep. Yeah. That's the point of it. Yeah.
There are check valves
Yes.
that when it turns on, then everything goes forward. When they turn off, everything comes back.
Yep.
In the past, or the failure that I did see in one system was the check valve didn't work right. So
Yep.
in the event that a check valve doesn't work right, now you've got a frozen system, which means you guys would be pumping like crazy because it won't be able to go out
Yeah.
into the tubing like it's supposed to.
Mhm.
So yes, it won't freeze. When installed correctly,
Yep.
and if those valves, maybe they've been improved, this was probably 7 years ago, don't seem to lock up or just not work right because,
Yeah.
of course, this didn't happen in the summer. It happened to happen in the winter,
Right.
and now your pipes are frozen, even though effluent is warm, with only that 6 inches of cover.
Yep.
It's just something that Oakson knows.
Yep.
I've worked with Bob from Oakson, and
Need to be aware of.
it happens here and there, and I like forewarned is forearmed.
Right. Yeah. And also, another bonus is that it's an open field area. It will have sun exposure too. That will also help keep it.
And you're not gonna be piling snow on top of it.
That's
because
correct. Because
We asked for
for John's comments, we have a fence along here that's going to prevent this from
Thank you.
putting snow over there. So yeah. So yeah, we've got comments from John Delano. We've addressed them in our response comments letter. Sent them back to John. As far as I am aware, he recommended approval.
Right. John, in fact, said that I'm recommending approval of plan with the following recommendations to be shown on the plan. And the board should make this part of conditions of approval. So I went through each and every concern that he had. The only one that obviously has to be pending is because we don't have a final as-built.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but the final as-built plan needs to demonstrate that it was constructed in the manner so there isn't impact to a butter's properties and the septic disposal area thereof. So
Yep.
that we would catch on the as-built, but then we'll also have to make sure gradings, things like that go on. And then we can talk about the variance request. So
Right. I was gonna bring that up.
if, you know, if you want to go through that in detail,
Absolutely.
that would be great.
Bob, can I ask you a quick question first?
Sure.
Is 266 and 265 on Ponset the same thing?
No.
Okay.
266 would be the area, if you go past like Harmony Liquors and Grill 58, it was an old peach tree farm.
Okay, so we're talking about two different things. So right
Right.
now we're talking about 265.
No, 260.
265 is across the street.
Okay.
That's gonna be another whole,
Okay, so that one is
Conversation.
still up for review. I was, okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
So we're on the old peach tree farm.
Yep. Correct. And, you know, the plaza's right here, it's a 10 Ellen's property, but
Where is it?
right up here.
Shelby Plaza.
It's just south of Shelby Plaza on 58. You go past the plaza.
I just had one question. On the system, you guys said you've installed residential and you're doing a project now. How many units are for the project now?
That is total 96 units.
96?
Yeah. Not all of them are on that system. There's two systems, and then there's
Okay.
some that are individual septics on the project.
How many run off that system?
I know it's close. It's more flow than this. It's closer to the one that we're going to propose for across the street.
Okay. I'm not familiar with it at all, so
Yeah.
just a few questions.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I can go over
Feel free.
the variance request. So we're requesting a variance for separation from pipe connection to groundwater. Because the height of the tanks is such that the bottom of the tank is below groundwater, and we have to connect the bottom of this tank, because it holds up, you know, the storage capacity of the system, to the wet well at the bottom in order to have access to the full amount of flow that's coming, that we're working with. So that's what the variance request is for. We went back and forth with Mr. Delano on that. We're doubling up the steel straps rather than just one. We're gonna put two steel straps on. There'll be a rubber boot cast into the tank. And we're also gonna put some corrosion protection sealant around the the and the boot and down onto the pipe. It's a product that's basically, I actually saw our Instagram reel for it. They painted out a few coats of it, and you can just stretch it out. It's like rubber, and it's really good for corrosion prevention. And there's also notes and everything on the plan for testing the water tightness of the tanks and the wet well prior to putting the system in operation. That's part of the conditions, I believe, that Mr. Delano recommended for approval. And also to hire a consulting firm to perform that testing on behalf of the town. So
Now, the
The bulk will pay
clarification,
for
the
that.
straps are to keep the tanks from floating.
no, there's a rubber boot where the pipe connects. We'll have those stainless steel straps around that to tighten up that connection between the
So
rubber
it keeps the
boot.
tanks from floating in high water seasons.
No, it's not a
Can you
ballast.
just say your name and where you live, sorry, just for the meeting?
Well, I'm Joseph Tonello, and I'm from Shelby Plaza, 284 Mount Ponce Street.
Thank you.
I'm a direct abutter to this project.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, sorry.
So we've done the buoyancy calculations on the tanks, and they're not going to float. But I know what you're referring to, like a ballast, like some kind of like concrete or something like that with straps around it. We don't need that for this, because the buoyancy calcs for the weight of the tanks and the soil on top of it will keep it from floating up out of it. So we have a factor of safety of 2.73 on that one, 1.62, and 4.97 on the one well. So that's part of what we look at, and we write on the plan the calculations to make sure we won't have to floating tanks. Yeah, so I mean that's the variance request. Why we're here tonight, for the most part.
What's the standard setback on leaching fields to property lines?
10 feet. We
So
have,
there's not a variance on that.
nope, we're not requesting variance for that.
Yeah, 10.6 or 10.9, I think it says.
We have 11 to this side and 10.7. It's the closest one that's in.
Bob, what are we talking about for like, how much of a variance is this? How much higher is this tank than it should be?
Well,
It's the connection.
it's the connection. The tank is fine, but you have to come out the bottom
Rather than higher up?
to get into there. So,
Into the well.
like you would effectively
They're in ground.
have to raise everything 5.5, 6 feet,
Well,
4
to get the
feet.
entire thing out of
Right.
probably. But
I mean,
this is, the invert of the pipe is 68.46 and groundwater is at 70.65.
right.
It's 2 feet.
2 feet in
Which-
groundwater, the pipe connections.
Yeah, it's more the connection. When we do repairs, this is common. New construction is why we're here talking about a variance. Meaning, if we are allowed to do it, but we would also be setting a precedent by doing it on any other new construction that goes on in town. We've had other inlet, outlet variances, but they've always been on a repair. So there is a little bit of a difference there.
Yep.
So I wanted the board to just, be aware of that. Is it allowable within Title V? Yes. Is it recommended by the review engineer? Yes, with all the stipulations being met. But we'd also, at the end of the day, say, well, if we say yes today to you, we should, to me, the word would be must, but should say the same thing to each and every
As long as they
Yeah,
get the same
company.
stipulations at a minimum. that you're-
same, right, exactly, But I just don't want to say,
Yeah,
yeah, blue can do it, red can't, silver,
yeah. So it's, when we get into larger systems like this, it is common to have various requests, such as this, like that larger system I was telling you about in West Bridgewater. We had more than one variance. This is one of them, but we also had components that were deeper than 3 feet, because we had a sewer collection system at the end of a cul-de-sac, and that tank was like 7 feet in the ground. So we don't have that in this.
And I did speak to Rob Casper, the agent in West Bridgewater. And
How's he doing?
there we go, Rob and I have worked together multiple times, and
Yep.
he said, well, we did it. I go, well, that doesn't mean I have to do it, but it's nice to know, so.
And in the grand scheme of things, towns that have sewer systems, a lot of sewer collection systems are below groundwater.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of areas in the state that have high groundwater, and you'll have a sewer system that connects, that has to be a certain depth in order to run gravity. So
Do we have to vote on this tonight, Bob?
What?
Do we have to vote on this tonight?
No.
No, we don't have
Personally,
to.
I'd like to just.
I'd like to
make
lead
a
them
little
into the right direction, because conservation won't approve their plan without our approval of the septic
Isn't that nice
plan.
of them?
So,
Isn't that nice of them?
Everyone wants to go last.
Isn't that nice of
right,
them?
but you know,
I don't know, do you guys have any other thoughts?
I would say that
I
if the
just
board needs more time,
More time.
Yeah.
let's do our due diligence, because tying this thing up any further also means another 2 weeks on Concom, which is MS4, which is this, which is that. So, I'm available the next 2 weeks, answer any questions, put any information that you need. I can reach out to Greg, I can reach out to whomever, and, I mean, as I see it, it would be planning and conservation that would make sure that Mr. Tonello's property is protected from any potential runoff, be it from the septic, from Mother Nature, whatever, because the height of the project that's there, the elevation of what you want to put in, and the elevation of his property, is not really a Board of Health issue. I don't see that septic affecting that, but
Right, yeah.
then they can make that determination. At least then they have an approved plan to say, okay, well now we need to do this, do that, because we have a butter on one side and a butter on the other, and I wouldn't want a big puddle in my driveway because it was put in incorrectly.
Right.
Or in my septic system, because his septic system
It abuts that.
is right there. And it's 4 feet high, which,
5 feet
and
high.
I'm really not expecting breakout, obviously, from the drip right.
They
But
have a barrier going around that system.
there is a
down the property line.
barrier, and, but
You know,
we just want to, final slope on it. It looks like we're there, but
Yeah, their site comes down
we
towards the
are.
property line
They're
and
bringing
Solar's.
that property up 4 feet minimum across front to back. From the street to the back, it's coming up 4 feet. They're bringing in 800 trucks of fill to fill this property to do this project. So
Yeah, I'd like some more
everything
time.
round,
More time.
everything does run down. My concerns is a couple of small little things I brought up during conservation. The overall perspective of water going into the groundwater. The infiltrators for the parking lot aren't adding any water to groundwater, but you are adding 4,300 gallons a day of septic onto a 1 acre property that was not there before into a high water groundwater anyway. And in experience, I've been there since 2007. I've already had to replace my septic system for the plaza once. And, it wasn't a pleasant bill, let me tell you. And so just, my concern is adding water to the groundwater on a high system anyway, and then the drainage on the edge there, it drops 4 feet and 10 feet of property line directly onto me. So there is a little bit of runoff, but there is a
Right at the
drain.
property line, they both come together at the both of those
Yeah.
slopes, so there'll be a swell created right on the property line.
But that was,
It's
people
how
that
I
look at
saw
it don't realize the property's coming up 4 feet, and then the building's twice as tall as what's
Part of the
there
reason we
now.
need to bring it up is for
Water.
septic and to make sure that we have our separation of groundwater, and we've done the mounding analysis and we've adjusted for there, then go up, so we're doing all the things we need to do for Title V.
You should update something.
So Bob, you have those plans? So like if
Well, I
I
see
want
one
to come,
right now that I've,
I just want to make sure you've got that. So like
Yeah, I'd like
when I
maybe
come to
go
see
over
you.
I can send them to you guys, I have them all electronically, or individually if you want to come down and sit with me, but
If you want extra copies,
Now,
I've been-
This is the latest plan, because I know it
Yes.
changed from It went up 9 inches or something from when the Concom.
So this was revised on 7/30 of '24. We received it on 8/5. Because we've revised numerous numbers of plans, guys, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the most current. And according to this plan and what I got from my review engineer was what we stated. What I got from outside sources, was consistent with where this thought process is and going. Otherwise, I just say shut you down right now, quite frankly.
Okay.
Or tell you which way to go.
Right.
And the pump calcs are spot on, just so you know,
Okay.
because
Thanks.
our former board member, who was chairman, the former chairman, is a great pump guy. So
Yeah.
I go, hey, John Weber, I go, John, could you come in and I just want to verify these numbers
All right, good.
on floats, this, that, how they run. And he goes, okay, yeah, as long as they do this, we're all good. Da, 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 da. So,
Good to hear.
yeah, we've done some extensive research on this.
All right.
All right,
I'll just say if I could. So just on the kind of,
And you are?
I'm David Eastridge, Thorndike Development. I'm a
You're
partner.
right.
On the, let's say, administrative side, so this community will have its own condominium association, a professional management company, and these plans and whatever approval we might get are referenced within the condominium docs, and they become requirements of the trustees to perform. And those docs also get recorded at the registry of deeds. So there's kind of a link to the requirements that is in perpetuity based on the way we do our condominium docs. Just want to mention that.
And just a side note, outside of the whole septic, is many multi-unit areas end up with multi-nuisance complaints. Whether it be hoarding, whether it be other areas, will or could the company consider having the appropriate bylaws in place so that we don't end up being their enforcement agent on things that they could handle in-house. I've had it in other condominium projects, just part of whatever, when you buy a unit, you agree not to have trash coming out your windows. Not to, I mean,
yeah,
you
how
know,
do we
the-
go about requests like that? I agree, as soon as we started talking about condos and bylaws, I just thought of the hoarding issue that we dealt with in the condominium, how they wanted nothing to do with it. I don't know how, I mean, this obviously is a completely different issue, but I would be interested in how we require that as part of the approval for this.
I don't know if I could,
Request it from.
I can't request it as part of the septic,
No, but we.
So
but I mean, I can't require it. I would request on a side note, that's why I said just sideline,
So,
since you're with whoever's gonna manage this property,
so our standard
do
language
something.
Prohibits nuisances emanating from any unit, including odors, noises. You're not allowed to store anything in the hall. You can only have seasonal wreaths on your door. So we have very detailed kind of specifications that kind of protect those that are purchasing there from bad behavior from their neighbors. And I've been with Thorndike for 25 years. They were my client for 5 years before that. We generally do high quality work and have a little, let's say, higher end clientele. Never had an issue with any hoarding type issues. Our worst incident was we had a shared porch. One was a Christian, one was Jewish. There was a big blow-up Santa Claus that ended up in a shrub. That was our biggest incident that we've had between neighbors. So besides that, it's
Sounds like a dream compared to.
exactly. So
I assume
we do have-
that
we do
was
have-
in place, but I try not to assume.
we do have standard kind of non-nuisance type of language in our condo docs.
Well, you know,
Dave, could
We can share that.
Bob, we have like a list of concerns that you would want, like,
Sure.
addressed, and you can say,
Just-
you can look at your standard language and say.
Yeah,
this is what we already do all the
just,
time.
I'll be glad to
send me
just
a,
share the relevant sections.
There you
know,
go.
With the board.
I just figured, I didn't want to have to call you in for another meeting.
Sure.
If you already had the answer to the question, and at least I could open up the topic, because we're talking about this particular address.
Sure.
And the one
We had a very difficult experience with a condo association that apparently had
No
it
bylaws.
was only,
nothing helping with that, and it was a big health risk situation that then we had to deal with, when really it was a private condo association that I feel should have played some role
Sure,
in
no
that.
issue.
But, so, a separate issue, but definitely something I think,
well, it was
I would like
a
to bring up.
year and 9 months of my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're
All
very
right.
generous.
Duly noted.
Yeah, well,
Okay. All right, so we'll carry that over. Pam and I were both saying we would like more time. Dave, do you have anything to add about the variance? We just
No.
want to read up on it a little bit more, so we'll carry it to the
That'll
next
be
meeting.
fine. That'll be
Okay.
fine.
Does that sound okay to you, Bob?
oh, it's fine with me. I mean, you know, the board makes the decision. I would let the board know that, you know, look, I'll get you more educated, speak to whomever, but I don't see any major problems with this at
Okay.
all.
It's just a lot of information
I
that
would,
we're not
it's a
familiar
lot
with
to
the system
absorb,
to
especially
go
if you're not
over in,
doing
20
septic all the
minutes.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do our due diligence and then we'll put it on the agenda for next meeting to vote.
I do like the direction that they've taken and where they're going.
Okay,
And again, protecting neighbors' properties, but that might be a whole different lane. That could be Concom and Planning Board, so
okay,
I defer that to them.
all right.
What's the date of the next meeting?
So
First
2
Wednesday.
of September, so I think that's 2 weeks from today, right? So September 4th or 3rd, let me see, sorry. September 4th, Wednesday, September 4th.
Okay. You guys need to do a motion on that?
I don't know if we need to, I think we can just say we're gonna carry it over.
I would vote it.
Okay, can I
Please.
get a motion to carry over the decision on the 266 Monpont Street variance request to the next Board of Health meeting in 2 weeks?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, I have a revised variance request letter if you want it. I brought it just in case. It's basically just, the original one we submitted had to, but we did address it through all the comments in response to comments with John.
Oh, I have that.
But I got a new letter that's just clear and concise, exactly what this is.
Does it track with what's in the agenda? Because if it tracks, I think it tracks with what's in the agenda. So
It does.
It may be covered, yeah. So
Okay,
I think
so it's
they have covered that. Excellent. All right.
Yeah,
thank you.
my major, concern, honestly, by concern, what I see is systems is the system. That's where it's gonna go. And it's protecting Mr. Tonnello's property because what's the elevations, which I think I matched up appropriately, show that
Yeah, I would. I know you said your name into the mic, thank you, but yeah.
Right,
on there.
right.
I
They're
don't
both
want
up
to miss anything.
now I'll have time
Great, okay. Thank you very much.
and figure it from there, but
Thank you.
we're like, I'm just, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate the time and effort.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, since I'm here.
Do you feel like you know John Delano personally or what?
Well, I knew him before.
Oh, you did?
Oh, no, that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
John's,
He was conservation agent for West Bridgewater when we did that project I just mentioned.
Oh, the folder is.
I know, I had a
I
bunch of
have a
projects in
piece of
front of me.
that in my
Yeah, so you
file
did the same.
cabinet.
You did
Oh
the
yeah,
same
you should
thing.
grab them at MHOA
Yeah.
meetings or whatever, you know?
And the extra tubing.
So,
The pipe connection.
and really, the only time I saw the, I think it's still Bob from Oakson who comes out and,
Russ,
The pipes and the.
yeah, great guy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, he goes out. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, well, he always does.
I would definitely.
It's a matter of, I mean, with the size of
I don't
this
know how
one.
old it is. This folder has a list of projects. Where'd it go? Where'd that folder go? Do you-
Oh, his
You
folder.
can pull some permit.
In there was
Yeah,
a list
that ends
of
up
places
being-
that.
All right, we're gonna ask her.
Can we have that folder? Is that okay?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
giving it away, but.
Can we borrow that till next time?
No, you can have it. He'll give you another one, or I'll print
I'll
up the
reach
one
out
that
to
I have.
Rob for another one if you want
Thank
one
you.
instead of.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
here.
I have this info in my office too.
All
Well, I
this?
was looking
Yep.
at.
Okay,
That's online, just so you know.
okay.
And this part here,
So
honestly, is
most
mostly propaganda.
of the places that-
I mean,
Right?
it's marketing materials, right?
What are you thinking?
I didn't see those.
Nice presentation, thank you for your time and
Thank
effort.
you. All of the developments in the area that
That's
have this in the system.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge of that system whatsoever.
I know, I'm,
No,
all right, well, we're
so-
still in meeting mode, we're still,
Yeah, we
but
should have finished
we
this.
gotta finish this. But I agree, I think I just need more time to educate myself on this before I
Yeah.
make a
I
decision.
prefer that decision.
Because it's a
I'm
big
very
decision.
proud of the board tonight.
And we will do our due diligence.
Yep.
Anywho, all right, moving on. Discussion items. Fee schedule changes, revisions, Bob.
Let me find my agenda page. Oh, Peggy wanted to, not Peggy, but we were gonna consider putting in a farmer's market permit for non-food vendors, meaning if you happen to bring frozen meat from like a, you know, they have it slotted from their house and
Yep.
have it packed at a packing plant, they would have to spend $75 per event or $150 for the year. Other towns seem to be in the 50 to 65 range. So we would not change, like hot food vendors, you know, a mobile food truck goes in.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, that's them, but, you know, some of the guys who just slaughtered their food on their own property, and once they pay 75 for one event,
But you're talking an outside place
yes.
taken care of.
Because Ravenbrook is starting to do farmers markets.
Yeah.
They're actually gonna be doing them over at the school throughout the winter, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think it would at least help maybe a few local people on something I don't even have to inspect. Food trucks I have to inspect.
Yeah.
So we should get the full fee on them because, you know, it's a food safety issue. I can't just,
Right, for the
you know,
trucks,
let them
you're
show up
saying.
for an event,
Yeah,
right?
for the trucks.
USDA.
But for the other stuff that's packaged, like that has to, it's already getting packaged through legitimate,
Butchers.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's butchered at
right.
Butcher Slaughterhouse and USDA stamped.
So I guess I'm not quite sure what the fee would be
I know, I'm
for.
confused.
Well, the fee, because
The
it's a
purpose.
food product, so we don't charge for somebody who knits slippers. So, and we currently charge them as a regular food vendor.
Oh, so we would be charging them less.
So I'm looking
Okay,
to,
that I agree with.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I thought you were
Reduce
trying
it,
to-
reduce it.
I
That's,
was trying
no.
to inclement if
Me
we-
too.
I'm trying
me
to
too.
Reduce it.
lower the price for
Yes.
somebody like that.
I agree with
I
that.
was thinking the same thing you were. I agree
Yep.
with that.
But I also think it's important to note, and why we shouldn't vote tonight is, like Ravenbrook charges their vendors to be there.
Okay.
So I have no clue what they charge.
What they charge, right.
Or
All right, so some more
what they
research on
do.
that.
So it was more just to start a little healthy discussion on,
Yeah.
yep, we'll help them out, but geez, would you help them out and cut your fee too? I don't know. I follow the money.
Okay.
Their farmer's market is great.
Yeah.
I already did. I
Okay.
I reached out to Kimberly and said, okay, yeah, I'll consider it. I'll bring it up to the board. And I guarantee they're gonna ask, or I'll bring it up. What's your fee for doing this?
No, because these
Well, it
people are
covers
trying to make
porta
some money and
potties.
need to like jam them with a fee on fee on fee.
So they
Right.
Right.
still need to
Market.
present you
Right.
with proper,
They need to present me with proper
was
paperwork
that?
and,
right?
yep,
Okay.
because she said porta potties, etc.
Yep.
I'm like, well, if you're gonna be doing it in the school, are you gonna put up a porta potty or are you gonna be going in the school? I don't know. Not me, we'll work it out, but
Yeah.
I think it's a reasonable request. Let's dot our I, cross our T.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And then there was also the reinspection of a system not ready or improperly installed. So this is under, specifically targeted at what will happen during this project, big projects, but can happen on a residential. We would move it to $100. So the first inspection I do, bottom of the tank, free. Second inspection I do, which is the actual field, bottom of the hole, free. Third inspection I do, which is the final, free. Well, now if I have to go back for a fourth time, then that would fall on potentially a homeowner. But I'll be going back a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth time when it comes to 266 Montponset, and I don't know how many times on 265. Because on big developments, even with O'Reilly's, to get everybody working in conjunction, the septic people start here, then the electricians go here, and then they call me back for a septic, and then they call me back, so it can be 8 to 10 inspections long, which, okay. I'll cover 3 of your inspections for no cost, but,
So each one will be 100?
yep.
How often do you find yourself having to go out more than 3 times to Joe Schmo whose system failed?
0.
Okay, I'm done with that. As long as
0, but it
as long as
could,
somebody who's already putting out 15 grand for a new septic isn't getting charged another 100 because their engineer or their installer screwed something up.
well, so that's
So you find it
why,
very rare that a homeowner needs a 4th, 5th, 6th walkthrough.
exactly, which is, and great point, because I need to know the installers that I work with. And they need to know what my level of expectation is when I get there. And I have to admit, single-family homes, the people who have worked in town do their due diligence to make sure it's all right.
Okay, as long as this isn't gonna cost residents $100.
No,
Yeah, I think if it's more often for these big developments that need extra supervision, then I think that's fine. I would vote that that's okay. I don't know, your thoughts, Pam?
Yep. No, I agree.
And then I think we had one more that we wanted to talk about. That's good. Oh. Real estate housing inspections.
Okay.
We're currently at $75.
That's
If-
all you charge to do an inspection for someone? They can hire you for $75 to do an inspection before they buy a house? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
I was gonna say,
If
that's
the-
cheap.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be done
If
by
somebody
an
is
inspection
renting
company.
you,
Oh, okay. A rental, I was
Sorry.
gonna say.
so, the example would be just, tenant landlord. The tenant can request before they move in that I go in and do a full inspection. Usually the landlord's the one who requests it because he wants to know that the place is pristine. So when the tenant ruins it,
Right.
Okay.
he
It's
he knows
documented.
why. So we're at 75.
And what do you do on the
There's
inspection?
a full housing inspection. The
Oh,
same thing I
okay.
did at C29
Oh, okay.
Lyman Lane.
Okay.
Is that the going rate?
No, going rate right now for other towns is 100,
Does the
and we're
landlord
at
pay that, or the-
75.
Does the landlord pay that or the tenant?
The landlord, if they request it,
Oh, and
Well,
the
the
tenant,
tenant-
the tenant.
Person
if
requests.
they request it, and if neither requests it, it doesn't happen and it falls on whomever.
Okay.
So, but my thought process in actually raising it was, anytime you add multi-family unit buildings, you get,
Oh, so you're thinking about this and you
sorry, grew
I'm
up in
reading between the
Marshfield.
lines. I'm reading between the lines.
I
Okay.
you don't have to. I was about to tell you, when I was in Marshfield, I used to do these things like
I know they have so many condos.
all the time because, hey, it turns over, it turns over. This guy rented for 6 months, he's gone. Bob, come in, do an inspection, rents for 6 months. And it's always whoever owns the property because they want to make sure that it didn't get ruined. So,
Okay, so.
very rarely will a tenant ever call me because it would have to be a slumlord that they already moved into a terrible unit. So increasing the fee would only put that upon,
Whoever requested.
yes,
Okay, so we need to vote on this, right?
that I would vote on.
Okay, so the first one was assessing a fee of $100 per visit after the third inspection of a septic system by the Board of Health agent.
Yes.
Correct? All right, can I get a motion, God, movement. Can I get a motion to approve the $100 fee for any septic visit by the Halifax Board of Health, assessment, if you will, after the third visit, so starting with the fourth, assessing a fee of $100.
So
per
moved.
visit. All in favor?
Aye.
And then can I get a motion to increase the fee for a home inspection,
Real estate and
Sorry.
housing.
real estate and housing inspection, fee from $75 to $100?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those were the only two, right?
And then you said, hold on, we'll wait to the next
Yeah,
meeting?
we'll wait on the farmer's market.
Oh, yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah, let's get a little more info.
Okay.
Good. I mean, these people are trying to make money, small businesses. I don't want to hit them with
No,
too
no.
much. So it'd be interesting to see what these other places are charging. Okay, mosquitoes. Oy. Tell us about mosquitoes, Bob.
So just to update, got my latest report today. And there is, or has been, positive tests for Triple E and West Nile virus in Halifax, which there was, but last week there wasn't. This week there is. Middleborough, Carver, East Bridgewater, all surrounding towns. Tomorrow or the next day, DPH has recommended a spray area that they're gonna do. I would err in caution, look at our website, and dusk to dawn are the peak periods,
Yeah, and
or wear long sleeves.
getting rid of standing water.
And mosquito, and get rid of standing water. I mean, it seems like a routine drill, but Triple E is a 3-year cycle for the most part. And this is year 3, 4-ish, and usually, yeah, you'll get WNV, but we did, in the other part of the state, have the first human case. These are only test samples, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean if that test sample didn't bite you. The most susceptible, young children and the elderly.
Yeah.
We had the last couple weeks of baseball, they were moving everything earlier so that the kids were in before dusk.
Oh, good.
Pain.
They do, from the ground, Plymouth County Mosquito Control does these ball fields,
Yeah.
but they only do them once every 6 weeks because that's
Oh, that's a lot.
the standard protocol of how long, that one spray will last based on. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's a tough season. And September, late August, September, early November,
It's out there.
really your key mosquito times.
Yeah.
All right, let's affirm about 1 million bills because we
Yes.
missed the meeting. All
Those,
right. Can I get a motion to affirm the bills paid that I've already signed? A, the payroll for the week ending August 10th, 2024 for Robert Valerie, Margaret Salter, Patricia Sanda, Brian Kling, Robert Valerie, for the PE grant, Robert Bucher, and Cindy Metro.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to affirm bills paid? Oh, she did A again, but she doesn't mean A. A2. Expense account number 01-512-FY25-01, 1 and 2 as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to affirm bills paid B, revolving account number 25-513-FY25-02, 1, 2, 3, and 4 as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve C, the iPad gift account number 26-514-483-02-FY25-01, 1, AT&T Mobile as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to affirm bills paid D, nursing services account number 01-522-FY25-01, 1 as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve or affirm bills paid public health excellent grant account number 25-516-5430-189-FY25-02, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to affirm bills paid F, Public Health Excellence Grant number 25-516-5430-189-FY25-03, number 1, Deputy Budget Director, as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, can I get a motion to affirm bills paid G, DHCD expenditure 28-507-5784-FY25, 1 as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
The following to be approved, signed, and/or voted on. Can I get a motion to approve payroll for the week ending August 24th, 2024 for Robert Valerie, Margaret Seltzer, Patricia Sanda, Brian Kling, Robert Bucher, Cindy Metro?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve expense account number 01-512-FY25-0221 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve revolving account number 25-513-FY25-0321 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All of those revisions, and John Delano only got $170 for that plan at 265 Onset Street. All those revisions he had to do, and his fee was $170.
I know.
That's it. Talk
He-
about having to like
Well, thank God
get
we,
paid per revision or something. Jesus.
well.
Nobody got it for the
and we
initial review, the
increased that
final
fee.
review.
Okay, good.
And that's paid for though by Thorndike Development
Right.
or Driscoll.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If, you know, his normal review is,
Well, that's
For a
that's
homeowner.
266. This the one we were just talking about, 265.
Oh, okay.
no, we were talking about,
Which one were we talking about?
we were
Sorry, I
talking
can't keep-
266.
Gotcha. Okay, my bad.
Previous- yeah, today was
265's
just-
coming up.
No,
But
great.
still, you know, to your point, the amount of time and effort John Delano has been putting into both addresses, 265, 266, and currently working on Starbucks. For a retired man, he
Yes.
goes, Bob, I'm
He must
only
have
doing
liked
it as a favor to you because I'm retired. You know, so.
All right, so we have approved that, right? We moved to approve that. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve nursing services account number 01-522-FY25-021 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the public health excellent grant account number 25-516-5430-189-FY25-041 as listed?
So moved.
I'm sorry, 1 and 2. 1
Oh,
and
yeah.
2 is listed.
Yep, so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 5th, 2024 and July 3rd, 2024?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, the following permits. Can I get a motion to approve the following permits with the condition that all required documents are submitted to the Board of Health office? 1 through 8 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I get a motion to close the Halifax Board of Health meeting for Wednesday, August 21st at 7:36 p.m.?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
That could have taken